Down the field, a Lions team that will not yield. And when the blue and silver wave, you stand and cheer the brave. Win the game, with honor you will keep your fame. So down the field and name, Alliance victory.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to Sports Flow with BK and Speaks. This week we get to recap a statement victory here for the Detroit Lions, taking care of business versus the Denver Broncos at home, 42-17. Lions have a big bounce back statement win here.
Sure did.
Both teams were in the playoff hunt, and the Lions controlled the game from the start.
Yeah, they sure did. And I think it all started, in the trenches. Let's start with the defensive end. They looked like they were trying to make a statement for the playoff push, did they not?
Yeah, I mean, the run defense all year, man, has been outstanding. They continue to get it done. They had Denver guessing in their running attack, kind of made them one-dimensional there, and Russell Wilson just really couldn't get anything going in the passing attack.
No, he sure couldn't. I mean, we were making the push up front, and then our safeties and corners were doing a great job. I kind of got down on Aaron Glenn in last week's episode for, benching Tracy Walker. I saw flashes last week with Melifanu, and now I know Aaron Glenn and MCDC made the right decision benching Tracy Walker. Melifanu was a difference maker all night for us on D. His combination of size and speed is scary good. He let us off
young
with
talent.
Dude, young talent. I love his size. He reminds me of Clamarty, who used to play for the Jets and Chargers with that size. It kind of reminds me a little bit of him a little bit. That's who I can compare him to. Let us off with that nice blitz, resulting in Russell Wilson's fumbling and the big fella Bugs trotting down the field. that was that. I think that was the play that got us, going. That was the turning point in the game for me. Even though we ended up having the punt there and didn't score, Melifanu, man, he was what we needed, man.
Yeah, he was everywhere. In the secondary, we've been looking for a boost in the secondary. Yeah, he provided that for sure. I mean, he was stellar in this game, and we really needed it. I mean, from the last couple of weeks, we've just been terrible in the secondary, looking for any sort of playmaker. He provided us with that this week. The other side, we had a little bit of young talent coming through on the defensive line there, too. Josh Pascal, our DN there, D lineman, kind of moves inside and out. But he was providing a little bit of the pass rush on the other side of Hutch. Pretty refreshing to see from.
Oh, God, what's it ever?
We've been needing it, and I mean, it's coming to fruition there. I'm hoping Pascal continues with that outstanding performance he had this week.
Yeah, Lions had pressure dialed up, especially on third downs, with their run defense remaining stout and clean in the win. As you mentioned, Hutch and Pascal were strong against the run in the trenches, and linebacker Alex Anzalone was back to his usual self, and I think Barnes had a hell of a game, even getting injured, coming back in. Gritty making that stop so they didn't score that touchdown. That was an excellent tackle on the goal line there after getting hurt and coming back in. And then getting back to Melifanu, 8 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 2 QB hurries, and 2 pass breakups. Yes, did he allow very effective. Yes, did he allow a touchdown? Yes, he did. But Russ threw a perfect dime ball there, so you can't blame Melifanu there. Everything else was picture perfect, and I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, on the defensive side, they finally started to get those stops. I think it's also a factor with the Lions not turning over the football in this game.
Huge.
Winning the turnover battle is big. We only get the 1, which is, I think we have to continue to improve on that number if we're going to be a serious contender here in the NFC.
Yep.
But it was nice to see, and I think it paid dividends having that turnover battle won. Defense was a lot more fresh.
Yep.
Kind of rallying right behind that big fan base and that very hostile fan base that we got here in Detroit.
Woo!
And, just ended up overwhelming Denver with their approach.
Yeah, and as you said, and I totally agree with you, that we are going to have to boost those turnovers up. We are going to be getting some key guys back to do so, which we'll touch on more here in a little bit, but that's really going to help us, going into this home stretch.
Yeah. There's no question, and they got to take care of business. I mean, We got Minnesota, then we're at Dallas. Very tricky to win at Dallas.
Yeah.
I think they've won 16 in a row over there or something. And then we get Minnesota again. As long as we take care of business, we're going to win the division. We're going to be in good shape heading into this playoffs, and you love to see it. I thought one of the funny things, too, in this game, too, was Sean Payton kind of getting into it with Russell Wilson at the end of the game. You could just tell how frustrated they were offensively with the play calling. Nothing seemed to work.
No.
And, this defense really made a statement.
Yeah, they did make a huge statement, and it's about time we made this statement because not that they've had much of a chance to make a statement the last 4 games or so with the position that our offense has put them in, but with Goff not turning the ball over, it gave our defense a fresh look, and man, did they look good.
Yeah, speaking of Goff, man, whoo, what a performance he put on this weekend. 5 touchdown passes. I mean, I was a critic here.
I was too.
The other factor with Goff is he plays really well in good weather.
Yeah.
He's notoriously struggled in the cold. I mean, got back to the home turf and just was dealing this week.
Yeah, so I think the big difference and, what makes Goff go around is the offensive line played brilliant. Our commander-in-chief was back under center. He's not only one of the best centers of his generation.
Yeah, Frank Ragnow.
Just he's had some crazy injuries, and not a lot of guys can, play through what he's played through. A fractured throat against Green Bay didn't allow as much as a quarterback hit. He's played through an incomparable toe injury the past 2 seasons, hasn't allowed a sack. He's the No. 2 center in the league, according to Pro Football Focus. Then he suffered a meniscus injury to New Orleans, was forced to go undergo meniscus surgery. That would have knocked a lot of people out. But Ragnow, he's not normal. He's not mortal. Didn't even allow a sack, a hit, a pressure against the Broncos. That's just amazing.
Yeah, the leadership he brings, too, is just incredible. I mean, the offensive line just hums when he's at the helm of it. And, it is impressive to watch when Ragnow is playing because you're right. I mean, we're talking about a top 3 center here in the NFL, and he just continues to get better every time he's playing. Yeah,
with great protection, Goff got he's back to looking like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. He had a rough stretch there, but when he gets the time he needs, I mean, he sets his feet and he can make any throw. He just needs the time. And career high 5 TDs.
Yeah.
Good job, Goff. Hell yeah, baby. Yeah. I love that.
Tough to complain about that.
No, exactly.
But you talk about the offensive line and just the impact they have on this offense. I mean, you even see it in our rushing attack. Gibbs has another outstanding performance here, 11 rushes for 100 yards. Also had 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving, 1 rushing. Shows that versatile element that he does bring to the offense. And then even on top of that, Montgomery, our other halfback, goes for 85 yards. How often do you see it in the NFL where 2 running backs are basically going for 100 yards in a game?
Yeah, you don't see it in today's NFL anymore at all. It's the best 1-2 punch in the NFL as far as a running back combo goes. They looked great. I love how Ben Johnson utilized both of them, got them both, in the correct spots. Had them in the correct times of the game. It's just they are gelling off one another really well right now, and our offensive line's healthy. Goff's playing good. Everything's starting to come together. It's really looking good right now.
Yeah, and I think the other thing with Gibbs is the explosive aspect. I mean, this guy can take it to the house on just about any carry. He leads the league right now and rushes over 20 yards with 10, and it's pretty much him at the top of the list. McCaffrey, I think, is second with 7, and that should give you a good indication of just how explosive Gibbs is. Christian McCaffrey, we're talking about the best running back in the game.
Maybe MVP,
and Gibbs is producing at this level. They're starting to incorporate him more into this offense. You can see why we really loved him as a first-round pick.
Yeah, everyone thought, it was a stretch, when Holmes went up and got Gibbs and traded back to get Gibbs, and now it's all starting to come full circle, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to argue with what he is doing on the field for us right now. He's bringing us an element that turns our offense into one of the top ones in the league, It's impressive. Speaking of rookies,
yeah, let's talk about him. Let's talk about him.
Sam Laporta, man, we have
Woo!
a legit weapon here.
Stud.
We are talking one of the top tight ends here in the league. Comes up with an unbelievable 3-touchdown performance this
touchdown,
weekend.
Baby. He now leads the NFL with 9 TDs, new franchise record for the Lions. It's just ridiculous that a rookie tight end is in the mix for an all-pro with the likes of Travis Kelce, 5 TDs, George Kittle, 6, Andrews with Baltimore, 6, and then we don't need to talk about him, but Hawkinson with 5.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, but you talk about Laporta, and he just looks like a veteran out there as a rookie. I mean, in the running attack, he's getting just huge blocks for us. In the passing attack, the guy catches the ball.
He can do it all. Can do it all.
I mean, it is incredible to see this guy in action. I can believe he's a second-round pick when you look back at this draft. Everybody's going to be like, why was this guy not drafted in the top 15?
Well, it's just crazy, I know this is a quarterback-driven lead. Stroud's probably in the lead for rookie, of the year. But can we get a co-rookie of the year? I mean, Gibbs is right up there, too. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of tight ends just come in and be able to do what Laporta is doing. And it's not just in one aspect of the game; it's in multiple, and he's going to be good for years to come. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah, he's on the verge of breaking just about every rookie tight end record.
Yeah,
he might trail Ditka by the end of the thing in yards, but I mean, other than that, we are talking about a guy who is playing at an elite level here, and I don't know why he isn't being even discussed in the Rookie of the Year conversation. I mean, I know C.J. Stroud just had an absolutely stellar season out in Houston, but what Laporta is doing is undeniable.
Yeah, Laporta is already the greatest rookie tight end in franchise history. So, I mean, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be breaking not only more of our records, but NFL records for tight ends. And that's with the great tight ends that the NFL has seen, from the Shannon Sharps to the Gronkowskis, to the Kelce's, to the Kittles. This is some special stuff that's going on here.
Yeah, and I think, it is a fun piece for us to have in this offense for many years to come.
Yep.
He's going to be a safety blanket for whatever quarterback we have. He's just going to continue to produce. We can talk about another rookie here, too, that you and I have been, or not rookie, I guess, but basically his rookie season. We've been talking about, you got to get Jameson Williams more involved. Finally, they start to get him involved in this short passing attack, and you can see just how explosive he is once he gets the ball in his hands. Like, he is very difficult to tackle.
Oh, that little move he had on the sideline, he had maybe an inch of room to make that little move, and he juked that dude right out of his jockstrap, kept going down the sideline. And then how about that catch? I had to hold my breath. He got his knee bent in there, but what a catch. He went up and got that, and he 45 snaps, season high, 68%, 4 catches, 47 yards. It's about time. Some dazzling plays and catches. We're finally giving him the time, and he's contributing, baby. I love it.
Yeah, and he's starting to answer the questions about the drops.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking about that being a main thing with Jameson Williams. He's got to catch the ball. He's got to become more consistent at it. Well, he was more consistent this weekend.
He was.
And if he continues to do this, the critics got to be silenced, because if he can catch the ball and be that playmaker on the outside, I mean, we got a serious weapon here.
I mean, he just keeps on slowly producing each and every week. Each week's building off each week, and you can just see he is just about there to just break through and have a really big game, because everything he's doing is he's doing it right, and he's getting a little bit better each week. And you can see that big play ability with some of the stuff he displayed against Denver in prime time.
Yeah, if he gets more involved in this offense, the offense just continues to grow, continues to get better. You got the deep threat involved, kind of opens up a little bit more room for St. Brown, who is basically our main target week by week. And it's going to add that element where Laporta and St. Brown can just control that middle short passing game, and then J-Mo can go over the top. And it's tough for defenses to deal with.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've been doubling Amran, a good, portion of the second half of the season. So, with J-Mo's, usage going up, playing more plays, it's only going to, make them have to focus on, J-Mo and Amon. St. Brown, 112 yards, 1 TD, 8.7 yards after the catch.
Nice bounce back.
Nice bounce back game. Doing the front flip in the end zone was pretty sweet to see.
Right over the top of the defenders.
Yeah, that was awesome. He said he wished he would have landed. He said he tried to land it, but he didn't get to. St. Brown now has joined a short list of OBJ and Michael Thomas as the third player in NFL history to produce 90-plus reception in each of their first 3 seasons in the NFL. St. Brown just continues to get better and better each and every week, and it was nice to see a little bounce back week after his, not such a good game in Chicago.
Yeah, he's a staple to this offense. And this offense, when we have this offensive line in place, and not turning over the football, if they can take care of the football, it's a top 5 offense in the league, and any defense in this league is going to struggle to stop them.
Yeah, I mean, when we're firing on all cylinders, we're a scary team, and it all starts in the trenches, and it all starts, with Goff, being a game manager and 5 TDs, and not a lot of QBs do that week in, week out. So Goff, hell yeah, buddy, keep it up.
Yeah, and hopefully they can carry that over this week. Because this week we're going into Minnesota. Lions at the Vikings. Lions are favored by 3 points here, and the over-under is set at 46.5. My prediction going into this game, I think, Goff stays on track with it being an indoor game there in Minnesota. And I think the Lions are going to pull out a 27-17 victory.
I like it, BK. A key player I got is,
Well, you got a prediction?
Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Prediction. I'm going to go, I think our offense is going to continue to thrive. I think Goff is going to continue to be turnover-free. Offensive line's healthy. Running backs firing on all cylinders. JMO's production's going up. Snap count going up. 45-20. Lions. Get the W over there in Minnesota. Back to my key players. Lions key players with the douche Gardner Johnson coming back.
Ooh, it's about time.
TikTok. The mutant's back. So it's going to be
big for us.
Huge for us. Led the league in picks last year, and we need turnovers. Coming back at a great time for us as our defense is getting rolling again. And then I want to say Goff again, because I want to see him have another turnover game, and then turnover-free game, and then a little bit of Jameson Williams. His production, as I said, keeps going up. Big playability, we see it. He's just waiting for that breakout game, and what better game to do it after some dazzling plays Saturday night than to do it Sunday against Minnesota, division rival.
I love it. I hope he kind of comes to life a little bit more this week too. My key players personally for this game is I'm going to roll with Gibbs again. I think we keep getting him incorporated here in the offense. You get the offensive line back into place, healthy, and Gibbs is, he's got that burst. So I think he breaks another couple big ones here and has a huge performance for us. And then on Minnesota's side, I think, they got their new starting quarterback in this week. They've announced Nick Mullins is going to be the starter. It's the first start for him all year.
Good luck, buddy.
Good luck. I'm hoping the Lions defense can make that a nightmare for him. But I think that'll play a factor here too with the Lions winning by 10 at 27-17 like my prediction.
Yeah, and my Vikings key players, Addison. I think he's been a great wide receiver. I've watched him. Great speed, great route runner. So hopefully we can shut him down. And then I've always been a huge fan of Smith, their safety there. Harrison Smith, man, he's the real deal. He true professional, always in the right spot at the right time. Veteran, just very savvy individual. So those are my key players for the Vikings. And one key player that I forgot to touch on, and I really like, that we did this. Love the changing kicker that we're making heading into the playoffs. We released Riley Patterson. He didn't have the leg, nor did he have the mental stability to be our starting kicker. So we bring back Marcus Bagley from last year. I'm not sold on him long term, but I'm confident in him more than Patterson. Probably why we ended up trading Patterson going into the start of last year. So Bagley, you're our boy. Let's get it done.
Yeah, I think the big issue with Patterson was he started missing extra points. Well, he was supposed to be a lock from 45 and
exactly.
And he wasn't that. So the Lions had to consider their options there, going with Badgley, like you said. And I think it's probably a good change. And we'll see, how it goes here.
I didn't say long term. I said it's a good change for the rest of this year.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a little bit more consistent kicking there. Certainly miss Jason Hansen around
here.
here.
God, the 12-stepper and Prater, man. He was a great little find for us too.
Prater was a monster for us. Miss him too. And I think the kicking game can get back on track here, and that'd be huge for us. One positive news, kind of with the Patterson waving there, is we've activated Hendon Hooker, rookie
huge.
Quarterback.
That's
and
huge.
They're going to start implementing him in there.
Yeah, have to. With Bridgewater announcing the retirement, we have to get him fully involved with, him probably going to be stepping up to be our backup quarterback with, Teddy going to be coaching high school next year and announce his retirement at the end of the year. Good for you, Teddy. You had a hell of a career after the devastating knee injury. You brought the two gloves to life, and I love having you as a backup quarterback and a mentor to Hooker. He's a great teammate, great locker room guy. So we love you, Teddy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Hooker is going to bring an element eventually for the Lions where they're going to have to consider their options if he's playing well with that second team. It's good to get him some snaps, good to get him some repetition here in the practice. And, it's a lot to be excited about.
Another great thing with Hooker is the thing that we've touched on multiple times in this podcast and our inability to cover, mobile quarterbacks. We'll finally have a mobile quarterback that our defense can scout against, in practice, which I think will do us wonders in the game because right now, who we having running that? It's not Goff and it ain't Teddy. They ain't the most mobile dudes. So it'll be good to have Hooker out there, because he can extend the play with his legs. So that'll be nice. And one guy that shouldn't go unnoticed that we haven't covered much, Josh Reynolds, 33 receptions, 535 yards, 5 TDs, 16.2 average. Best season he's had since he had that year with Goff back with the Rams. The new nickname that MCDC and some other coaches are giving him is the Cockroach because he just keeps coming back, super resilient and always producing. MCDC said one of the best pickups we've had in a 3-year period. Keep it up, Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, great depth piece for us. We've needed him all year with the injuries and, the flux at the wide receiver position. He's been a very consistent guy for us, and grateful that we have him on the roster.
Yeah, especially with JMO, trying to get his legs back under him from the suspension and the ACL. So, Josh Reynolds, keep doing your thing, my man. We love what we've seen so far.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thanks again thanks for joining us here on Sports Flow with BK and Speaks. We'll be back next week to recap this game versus the Vikings. Hopefully we'll be playing that song again with the victory. And then we'll go into a little bit of predictions with that big-time matchup at Dallas the following week here.
Hell yeah. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Have a great rest of your week. Happy holidays, and take it easy.